Counter-Strike 2 is coming. We know this. What we don't know is when and in what state. I think we can all agree that long-term, chances are high that CS2 will shape up into something great. I think we can also agree that short-term, it being in admittedly rough shape is sort of concerning. CS2 isn't just succeeding CSGO, it's outright replacing it. So what happens if the update rolls out, an entire professional scene is waiting for it, and it just isn't ready? All right, so CS2. It's fair to say that if you've been following the trajectory of Valve's newest addition to the Counter-Strike franchise, you've probably noticed that the beta has been a little bit scuffed. From insane smoke blooms to Doorstuck offering invincibility to people becoming flying specters of death, CS2 is undeniably in need of some love.
Oh, he's default, triple. Get him.
Drone strike his ass.
Even basic furniture grade features like movement and tick rate are being widely regarded as shaky, unfinished, and on the whole, subpar.
Shooting in CS2 is definitely superior, but the movement is so much better in CSGO. Just so much better.
Valve have, of course, shipped fixes, and whether it's still subpar is up for debate. Valve came out, right, with that post, whatever it was, 2 days ago, with the update, right? And they said, like, we matched movement 1-to-1 between CSGO, CS2. I don't know if you've had a chance to try it yet.
I did, and honestly, I'm sorry, but it's not CSGO yet.
You still don't feel it's CSGO?
No. It's better. It's better. But no.
But I'm not here to farm impressions by shitting on CS2. Really, I'm not. Okay, I mean, I'm a little bit. But I love CS2. I genuinely think that the changes that it promises to bring are fantastic. The thing that I want to talk about is the short term. The thing I want to talk about is time. As many of you probably know, Valve famously hate public deadlines. They never ever set them. They just release things if and when they feel like it. The problem is that this time around, they did set a deadline, summer 2023. Indeterminate as that is, it's still a deadline. At some point between now and the 23rd of September, the last day of summer, Valve are supposedly releasing CS2 in its entirety. And it's just not at all clear that it will be ready in time.
So, even if they go late summer, it means like in maximum 2 months, it is gonna be out.
Yeah.
And I'm really scared about how can you fix all these feelings in 2 months.
Now, normally this wouldn't be such a big deal. Games release in abysmal states all the time, Counter-Strike included. In fact, there is a long, storied history of Counter-Strike sequels being downright unplayable at launch. Those who played the CSGO beta may remember that it was famously dogshit. So dogshit, in fact, that it sent players crawling back to both Source and 1.6. In fact, throughout all of Counter-Strike's history, there's been this sort of elitist impulse to return to the olden times. There are even some ultra-feral hipsters out there who will have you believe that Counter-Strike peaked in and around 1.5. Which, like, I'm a 1.6 elitist, don't get me wrong. I still think 1.6 is better than Go. But 1.5? That's a little much in my opinion. Anyway, the point is that whether or not you subscribe to such elitism, it was sustainable. The reason for this is that Valve released these successors as standalone titles. It didn't matter that Condition Zero or Source were shit because you could always go back to the OG, and people did. In fact, the golden or platinum age of competitive 1.6 didn't come around until in and around 2010, 2011, over half a decade after Source's release. So again, if the new game sucks, who cares? We'll just keep playing tournaments on the old one. But here's the thing, this time, we can't. Which brings us to the much larger issue surrounding CS2's release. It's not a sequel, it's an update. It's replacing CSGO. Last time, it took Valve years to finally get Global Offensive into a place where the community regarded it as a worthy successor to 1.6. And don't get me wrong, those growing pains sucked. But that was also a different era of esports. Major stadiums weren't filling tens of thousands of people, and buyouts weren't reaching 6, if not 7 figures. It was understandable in a sense that CSGO still had to go through certain growing pains. After all, esports was still in its teens. Now, orgs are dishing out crazy amounts of money, roster shuffling in anticipation of a game only a fraction of the player base has played, is riddled with bugs, feels worse than its predecessor, and oh yeah, Valve are hosting a $1 million major for it in 8 months. Now look, I am not suggesting that CS2 is shit, or that it won't get better, or that, again, the changes it promises to bring won't benefit Counter-Strike tenfold in the years to come. CS2 is undeniably on the right track. And, as Sponge rightly ranted on HLTV confirmed, the CS2 beta is in better shape than the CSGO beta ever was.
It's gonna take a little bit of time. We've just moved to a brand new engine and we're in the beta. And the game already feels infinitely better than Source ever did, or CSGO in the early stages ever did.
That said, right now, in the immediate, I don't think it's unfair or alarmist to wonder what happens if Valve just released this thing in the next 2 months and it's just not ready. It was Valve's decision to try and swap out one game for another Indiana Jones style. And while I applaud them for it and recognize that it's awesome and ambitious, what happens if they just bit off more than they could chew?
The problem is that Valve is not giving us a new Counter-Strike. They are giving us an updated version of CSGO.
Yeah.
So and CSGO is not gonna be available anymore. So by that, what they are doing, I mean, from a player, you are telling me I'm not gonna be able to play CSGO anymore. It's gonna be CS2, and it's gonna be a better version of CSGO. The problem right now, it's kinda like CSGO, but it's actually worse.
Yeah.
But so this is a big risk for Valve.
Yeah. The simple scenario is they'll figure it out. They have to. Counter-Strike earns Valve tens of millions in revenue per year, and they're the tech gods of gaming. Hell, if they could figure out how to port over all of our skins, there's nothing they can't do. The crazier scenario is CS2 comes out, replaces Go, and is just not up to snuff. Periods of transition are always rough, and there are absolutely going to be things around game balance and infrastructure that just take time to fix. But there's no world in which CS2 comes out and it's just dog and we all just beg to go back to CSGO. Not for long, anyway. The games are just way too similar. As for how long it takes them to iron out these deficiencies, I don't know. There really is a big question mark around when this thing will be ready and how seamlessly it will replace Go from a competitive standpoint. I'm sure that Valve are working tirelessly, but ostensibly, once this update comes out, there's no going back. Well, I mean, that's not true. We could always just go back to 1.6.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique, bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.